Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I see people are streaming into the room. It always takes a moment for everybody to get situated and for everybody's audio to connect. So I'm just going to give it a few more seconds here before we get started. As you can see, you are at the AI in College Admissions, All Things AI at NACAC webinar. We're really excited that you're with us. All right, I do see it slowing down, and we have a very packed schedule today, so I don't want to take too much time here before getting started. So, again, welcome everybody. I am Emily Pacheco, one of the co-founders and leaders of the AICA Special Interest Group, and we welcome you today to our NACAC preview. We are so happy that you've chosen to join us today. It's really hard to believe that NACAC, the conference, is just around the corner. It's kicking off on September 18th. And whether you are planning on attending the conference in Columbus or following along from afar, this webinar is designed with you in mind. Sorry. One thing that we have consistently heard from our members is that how eager you are to better understand the landscape of college admissions. In our surveys, many of you have expressed that you really want to ask for us to spotlight some tools and solutions that could make a real difference in your everyday work. So today, that's exactly what we are going to do. We're going to introduce you to a number of innovative companies who are tackling various challenges in the admissions space. And each of them are going to share the problem that they are working to solve and how their solution might support you in your work. So if you're heading to NACAC, you'll be able to connect with them in person. And if you are not going to be there, you'll still have the opportunity to connect virtually with them. We are very we also just want to make this acknowledgement that we like to start with. AI tools don't exist in a vacuum. They're built with systems that have real social, cultural, and environmental impacts, and we really want to acknowledge that. Many of these systems raise very serious ethical concerns, including disregard for authors and artists, and a reliance on exploited labor and large-scale resource extraction that has contributed to environmental harm. At the same time, AI is already shaping the college admission landscape. By naming these problems openly, we believe that we can continue this conversation with integrity, seeking to use these tools responsibly, while also pushing for ethical and equitable practices across the field. So now I would like to, is Emily here from College Vine? She was going to
Yes,
join us.
I'm here.
Awesome. Great.
Popping in.
Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to hand things over to you and stop sharing my screen. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet everyone. We're so excited to see you all at NACAC and connect. We'll start off by just quickly sharing briefly what College Vine is, the work we're all doing, and we'll share more with you all at NACAC, and then preview some exciting things we got going on site. So for those that don't know what College Vine is, we create and deploy custom AI agents across university operations to streamline workflows, make operational efficiency dramatically increased, and lastly, to transform the student experience. More and more students are looking to connect with AI agents from enrollment, on-campus life, and alumni. So we work across all creating customizable agents to align with institutional goals. Now I'll pass over to discussing a little more about what we are doing at NACAC, and Emily's going to preview a really exciting thing that we'll be handing out at our booth 623. So I'll pass it to you, and then I can dive into some other activities we got going on.
Thank you, Emily. Actually, I really want to keep everybody here for this webinar, so I will be previewing those, but you do need to stick around until
Amazing.
a little bit later in it. But we do, did you have anything else, Emily, or I was going to pass it along to our first presenter?
I will just say I'll drop our website for our NACAC plans into the chat so you all can take a look what we got going on. We're at, like I said, booth 623 with a whole bunch of interactive AI experiences going on there. Yeah, and Emily will share the special surprise we'll be handing out to all of you on site. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they do have a really impressive booth, and it is a lot of fun. So definitely make sure to visit them. We also have a number of our session presenters with us today. So I'm going to hand it over to one of those. Ben Neely is going to tell us a little bit about what he's going to be doing at the conference.
Thanks so much, Emily. Really grateful for the opportunity to be here. Grateful that I'm able to work with, collaborate with another outstanding group of panelists at this year's edition of NACAC. We did a session on AI, building out a toolkit, making sense of how it can fit in the college admissions landscape last year in Los Angeles, which was a lot more geographically convenient for me, but I'm more than happy to make my first ever visit to Columbus this year. So just very, very briefly, here is a quick teaser for our session. I think one of the things that makes these sessions really powerful is hearing from practitioners who are there in the day-to-day. So we've got Ben Toll from George Washington University, Chris and Coral from different on the high school side, directors of college counseling. And the goal in this session is to both explore some of the more subtle or nuanced challenges around deploying AI, everything from things like making vendor selections as an admissions leader or someone in enrollment management to if you are working with students in a high school setting and you choose to sort of put AI tools front and center in your processes, what kind of signals might you be sending to students that you may not be aware of and being ready to manage those expectations? So really excited for this. As always, this session does conclude with a very practical toolkit. And those of you who've been to some of the previous sessions I've been a part of hopefully have benefited from that, and contains a number of guides that can be really great starting points for anybody who's looking to tackle specific college admissions counseling problems using AI models. This year's edition will have something like 9 or 10 different pieces in that toolkit. So really excited to share that with everybody. Our talk is on Friday the 19th at 2:30 p.m. Location TBD. And then I'll just put a quick plug in for Revolution Prep, national online tutoring small group course company helping with test prep, academics, executive functions. We have a really, really exciting booth this year. I'm sure everyone says that, but lots of fun stuff, games, activities, very sort of snarky and fun badge ribbon stickers that you can put on the bottom of your badge. So swing by. We're right front and center in 601. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to our wonderful MC, Emily, for the next part of today's webinar.
Thank you, Ben. I've seen Ben present a few times, and I always learn so much from him. So I'm excited to attend that. We want to show you the first of a couple of our exhibitors who will be at NACAC. And the way that we've done that, we have short videos that they have put together to share with you. So if you just give us a moment, we will have that playing here in just a second.
Emily, I'm going to need you to kick it off to the next presenter for just a moment,
No
because for some reason
problem.
it doesn't want me to share with sound, and that is not helpful for this.
Yeah, there usually is that little box that says
Yeah,
right before you share. Yeah, but
it's not letting me check it.
oh, interesting, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. You look at that, and we definitely can move along. We have our next session presenter with us, and that's Jennifer Kirk. And I'm sure Jennifer appreciates being able to go early because she has a full day of other stuff as well after this webinar. So yeah, Jennifer, you want to share a little bit about what you'll be sharing at the conference?
Sure, I'm going to share the screen. If this works, let's see. Let's go to slideshow. Here we go. We're good to go, yes?
Yep, all good. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Jennifer Kirk, and I am in my 31st year as a public educator and my 28th as a school counselor. So I've been at this game for a long time. And what I know about education is ebbs and flows and changes. And AI has been very exciting. And I function from the place of let's embrace it and see what we can do. I'm also a curriculum director, and so I write a lot of curriculum and write policy. of old work and new work. And so it allows me to be really present with things that are changing out there. I'm here today as counselors for computing. That's with ncwit.org. And our hope in our work is that we expand the landscape of those who are interested in participating in STEM, technology, computer science, right? And really embracing that, and to ensure there's representation across the board with those who are entering the field and who are staying in the field. So how can counselors help students navigate the use of AI and the college admissions process? That is, right, kind of an overarching theme question that we can ask. And why is this important in college admissions right now? So at the end of our webinar, you will be able to assess and teach students to abide by the AI policies of the schools they apply to. We can educate students on how to ethically use AI tools to complete their college applications. Streamline your own work, assisting your students through the college application process, such as writing recommendation letters using AI tools. Avoid jeopardizing student privacy while using tools to assist college applications. And so a couple of pieces I'd like to highlight there are policies, right? Policies are the rules that we follow in our settings. And as a public school counselor in a very large district, policies really drive what we can and cannot do. And so being at the table to have those conversations, to one, know where my parameters are, but also to advocate to ensure that they're where they need to be. You see the word ethically in there. And so that's a huge piece in everything that we're teaching kids. We want ethical standards to be abided by both our students and ourselves. Streamlining our work. We want to move beyond this idea of generative AI. And really from my lens and working with other educators, like catching kids, the gotcha mentality, to really utilizing in a way that is transformative in our process, because we'll have some examples for you. I guess I shouldn't divulge them all now, but how we lean on AI beyond helping write letters, while that's part of it, but how we utilize that in our work to keep us streamlined. The question that can be answered is, how can school counselors, admission counselors, and others in student advising roles help students navigate this world? And how can we shift our mindset, right, and views of the college admissions process as we consider the relevance of AI in our day-to-day? Let's see here. Let's see. I skipped a slide, I think. 3. Okay, I think we're good there. So this webinar, ultimately, I apologize for that, is to ensure that cursors around, there we go, is to ensure that we have ethical behavior moving forward. We're going to give you live examples. We're going to have some breakouts. We're going to really leave with some ideas and action planning that you can take with regard to this piece. It's been a really intriguing way to work through things. It has improved my workflow. At the very least, it has me, building calendars out for myself, right, through the work. So helpful. So I encourage you to join us. We're really excited. My colleague, Kelsey Kamen, will join me as well in the session next week. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jennifer Kirk. So glad you could join us, and I'm really excited. That is a session that we are all definitely looking forward to. Now we do have those videos. We have 2 videos to share before we're going to jump to you, Michelle, because we were able to get the sound going. So let's jump into that.
Empty dorms, declining revenue, budget cuts. This is the new normal, and it's unsustainable. Kollegio is reinventing the way higher education is accessed. Our ethical AI platform seeks to bring personalized guidance to millions of students across the US and the world. We connect institutions like yours directly with your ideal students, identifying the students most likely to matriculate to your institution based on hours of individualized engagement data, demographic information, and your historical enrollment trends. Kollegio is the new preferred way for students globally to access higher education, with partners seeing up to 100% unique student pools, student matriculation being successfully predicted with over 50% accuracy, and completely new students booking discovery calls in less than 2 weeks. Kollegio's accuracy is unprecedented, our communications hyper-personalized. For example, when a student is passionate about theater, they learn about your performing arts program, not just generic campus amenities. The future of enrollment is here. Is your institution ready?
From scheduling campus visits to encouraging students to apply to deciding which school is the best fit, parents play a big part in your admission process. In fact, 81% of parents expect weekly communication. Are you meeting their expectations? Campus CSP is your one-stop shop to engage prospective parents, meet enrollment goals, and nudge the nudgers. CRM integration makes it easy to nudge families to visit campus, complete an application, submit a deposit, and more, all based on a student stage in the enrollment funnel. Built-in AI tools help busy enrollment teams develop personalized content at scale. Start from scratch, rewrite a student communication for family members, translate, or customize general articles from the Campus CSP Content Network to be specifically for your school. We can't wait to see you at NACAC. Get free lunch and the results of our latest survey of 10,000 prospective parents at our Lunch and Learn on September 18th. And come see us in the Expo Hall at booth 808 to learn what AI tools are releasing next and how we can help scale your family engagement strategy for stronger enrollment results. See you in Columbus.
Awesome, thanks. Hope you're taking notes. This is definitely a lot of information. We have our next presenter with us. We have Michelle. Do you want to share a little bit, Michelle?
You bet. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody for joining us today. We have a couple of NACAC events coming up, and I'm joined today here also with my co-presenter, Scott Kamikowicz, and I will show you what's coming up next week. I don't know if you guys are aware of the fact that NACAC is also hosting a virtual webinar next week. It is an AI forum, and let me put into the chat. In fact, I'll do it after I'm done sharing my screen here. But next week on the 3rd and 4th in the morning, morning Mountain Time, I will share the link with that. The forum is on AI, and Scott and I are keynoting. It's a 2-day event, 1 day for higher ed and 1 day for secondary. And the evolving impact of AI on college admissions is the topic of our presentation. And in addition to my co-presenter, Scott, we also have a panelist with Gary Clark from UCLA and Nate Crozier from the University of Miami. And we are going to be kind of just back and forth talking about the impact that AI is having on, the work that we do, with students, and our higher ed colleagues are going to be sharing their perspective on what they're seeing from applicants. But not only that, they're also going to be talking about, on their campus, in their department, the conversations that they are having, the questions and concerns that they are wrestling with. And as somebody from the high school side, even as we were preparing our materials for next week's forum, it was really, really informative and interesting for me to hear the UCLA and University of Miami perspective on this. And there's a lot of wrestling going on and a lot of concern about the ethics, that how do we guide students? How do we guide, if we're supervisors within our office, the ethical use of AI? And so that is a great segue I'll turn it over to my colleague, Scott, who is here to also talk about what we have coming up in Columbus for those of you who will be able to attend. So I'll stop sharing.
I'm not sure that we do have Scott here. Scott, if you are in the audience, we'll move on and do the next 2 videos for now. But if you're in the audience, Scott, we can make you oh, you are there. Sorry.
I'm here. I think I stole Michelle's.
Yes, it's
Michelle's link. There we go. Yeah. No worries. No, thank you. No, and thank you, Michelle. And thank you, everybody. Yeah. So my name is Scott Kamikowicz. I'm here in Honolulu, Hawaii. So I just dropped my kid off at school, and just sat down in my office. But got to check the time on these things sometimes. But no, I'm really excited to present at NACAC. So Michelle and I, as well as Stephanie DuPaul and Randy Mills last year at NACAC, presented on practical ways that we could use AI as counselors. I'm a school-based counselor here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and how college counselors, how we could use AI to really improve our work. And, I talked a little bit about letters of recommendation and how I use it for that. And, my colleagues presented on other things. And, we had a lot of questions about like, well, what do you do for students? And Michelle and I were talking over the summer of like, sharing frustrations about how, how we wish some of our faculty would embrace AI, and how can we convince them to do that, and how can they make their lessons AI proof or more adhered towards AI. So we decided to put this presentation together in Columbus of really focusing on the student end. We both of us are using AI, I think, in responsible ways with students, and we wanted to showcase a few of those, pieces in play. So other counselors, other people who are working with students can see how we use AI in a responsible way with students and what questions may come up with that. And we'll talk a lot about the, and I think we'll start off with a bunch of questions about the ethics of, why we're doing this and why we feel like it's appropriate. And I really think it's going to boil down to is we realize our students are using AI. I think we have just over 2,000 students here at Iolani School, and we know that over 1,500 of them are using AI. And the question I get is, well, do we want them to develop good habits or bad habits? And I know if we model AI use for them and we show them, get them into those good habits, we can encourage those good habits. And I'd much rather be on that end. So if you want to learn about those habits, if you want to, see how you can use AI in an ethical way that still promotes learning, that still protects the learning that we want them to have in this digital AI age, yeah, come on by and have a conversation with us. We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott and Michelle. It's good to hear the focus on ethics. There's always a lot of questions about that, and it is very important. And it's nice to see a number of the sessions that will be, talking about that. We do have the next two videos from our exhibitors. We have My Docs and Admit AI. So we're going to get those up and playing for you.
Sorry about that. My box got grayed out again. So I'm going to try that one more time. All right. I think, Emily, you're going to have to keep us moving, and I'll see why it's not letting me check off the share sound box.
Thank you for your patience. This is, we've never tried to do so many different moving parts in one webinar, but we are hopeful we'll be able to get those videos up in a moment here.
I got it.
Oh,
it
great.
Switched. Yeah. For anyone who wants to learn this about Zoom, because we have so many panelists, it keeps switching to allow multiple to share at the same time. And that's what disables your ability to share sound.
So you just have the option to share audio. So she's got.
Hi everyone, I'm John Reese, CEO at My Docs. I'm really excited to be back at NACAC and supporting AICA. We need to make sure that AI in admissions is done right. 22 years ago, I founded Parchment, and I'm very proud of moving the industry from paper to electronic transcripts. But what was special then is embarrassingly inefficient now. We can't spend huge amounts of staff time entering data and recalculating GPAs. We can't be satisfied asking applicants to re-enter transcript data. Transcripts contain huge amounts of valuable information, but it's been too expensive to get to. Not anymore. My Docs turns any transcript in any format, in any language, into standardized, actionable insights in seconds. Please visit with me, Haley, Ryan, and Rob at booth 1312. We'll try to knock your socks off. Thanks.
One of the biggest challenges for guidance counselors is personalizing advice for students. Admit AI is an ethical platform to solve this problem. One key feature is essay feedback for students. Students instantaneously receive content-level feedback similar to what a counselor would provide. Another key feature is recommendation letter writing assistance for guidance counselors. Our AI precisely replicates their writing style and generates personalized drafts for them. We partner with high schools and districts, and they love the experience.
After Admin AI, it saved so much time, and it has helped me navigate just the entire college process differently.
If you're thinking about ways to improve your student success and your counselor success, Admin AI is the way to go.
This admission cycle is the best time for you to get started. We can't wait for you to experience it.
Awesome. Thank you. We've got our next session presenters. We have Jasmine and Sebastian, I believe, are here with us, and they're going to share a little bit about their session.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. See if I can share my screen. Did not know that we were doing some slides. So with the power of AI, I made this about 30 seconds ago, but Jasmine and I are going to be presenting along with Becky Mulholland, who's the director at Rhode Island. And here's our list here. Go back real quick. There we go. So we'll be doing a session on responsible AI in admission. So a little similar to Ben's session just right before that, sort of choosing, testing, and launching those AI tools. So you can find us in the Short North Ballroom B on Thursday, just after lunch. And we're expecting a pretty big crowd for that one. So hopefully folks will decide to come early. But essentially our session is really focused on parsing through all of these different types of AI tools, whether that is AI-powered CRMs, the agents, the chatbots, detection tools, data modeling, all of those different things. And so helping guide folks, whether they're on the high school side or on the college side or as an IEC, on what is available on the landscape right now, and then really understanding what is going to be the right fit to support, your institution or organization's processes. So how to map out testing features for those AI tools, both the responsible use, but also compliance with student privacy and managing data, all of those kinds of things. So we hope folks will join us on Thursday and certainly interact throughout the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Sebastian, for that. I want to take a moment and just let you know about two other activities that are going on, one in relation to NACAC, but one that is happening sooner, the virtual forum that NACAC is putting on September 3rd and 4th. Here's a little bit about that, and it's geared towards admission counselors. That QR code will take you to the page to register for that. The second thing that is happening at NACAC is a pre-conference webinar, a pre-conference workshop that I will be doing along with two presenters today. Well, one of them with Ben Neely, and then we will also be with Senan, who is part of Kollegio. So this is a little bit of information about that session and where you can find us. And if you want to attend, you do need to register for that. This happens right before the conference kicks off. So it's in the morning from 8 to 10:30 on September 18th. Now we do have two more of our exhibitor videos that we would love to share with you, and we will get those up here in just a second, hopefully.
Utilizing AI and machine learning, Liaison OTHOT provides predictive and prescriptive analytics, offering real-time insights to optimize recruitment, retention, persistence, yield, and financial aid. Here's how it works. We learn everything we can about student A, then compare student A's attributes and behaviors to the thousands of people who have previously enrolled or not enrolled at the institution. We locate the 100 people student A behaves most like and make a prediction called a likelihood score. We prescribe a next step that admissions can take to influence student aid to enroll, such as offering aid or inviting them to campus. This step greatly increases their likelihood score, moving student aid closer to attending your institution. To learn more about Liaison OTHOT, find us at booth 1237 or visit our website.
Parents matter. In a NACAC survey, students said parents are the #1 influence and source of support in their college process. Yet those same parents report they're stressed and flying without instruments. CGN helps K-12 districts and college enrollment leaders engage families early with our 3-part AI-powered guidance system. The first part is Ava, our AI counseling assistant, trained on insights from over 400 top experts, delivering trusted answers to parents and students. Second, the Family Roadmap to College and Career, personalized across 26 factors, ensuring that guidance is tailored to each student's unique aspirations and needs. Third, year-round live programming, bringing those experts into families' homes to answer their questions. And because these family conversations can happen anytime and any place, Ava is mobile-friendly, free, and available 24/7. And who gets the win for providing anxious parents with guidance and support and the data on what families ask and when? You do. CGN, a complete personalized guidance system supported by experts, powered by AI.
All right, let me just bring this back up. I just also wanted to talk a little bit about what our special interest group will be doing at NACAC. And I'm assuming most of you are familiar with what we do. This slide is talking, gives you a little bit better idea of what we're about and what we are the goals that we are working towards. We call ourselves AICA, being the AI in College Admission Special Interest Group. And we are dedicated to helping admission counselors and other professionals lead ethical, student-centered AI integration. As I mentioned, you can see the various ways that we're working to do that, including by helping to create and promote the exploration of tools that help institutions put into practice in responsible ways. So we're sharing some of those tools that are out there with you today. And we're also highlighting several sessions, one that's actually focused on how you can go about choosing tools for your specific needs. So we hope that you will take advantage of getting to know these special exhibitors in the exhibit hall, but also attending the sessions that are going to, teach you how to better approach these tools and know what questions to ask. So at the heart of all of this is really our goal to create space for thoughtful conversation and practical resources around AI in the admission space. So we hope that you will also put on your calendar our own time that we have to get together as a special interest group. This is pretty exciting for us because it is one of the few times, it is the only time in the year that we meet in person. So we will be meeting on the 18th, just a couple hours after the conference launches. And we will be talking about what we have been able to accomplish this last year. We will be looking forward to what we hope to be doing in the near future. And we will also be encouraging you to get involved and to learn more of how you can do that. So if for some reason you're not already part of our LinkedIn group, please take that step through that QR code and join us there. And then please come and see us at the conference during our special interest meeting. We have a couple more, we have videos here to share with you. Our next sponsor, our next exhibitor sponsors are Orbit
Hey
AI.
everyone, so great to be here.
Sorry about that. Orbit AI and Open Admission. So I will pass that over to Jasmine here.
Hey everyone, so great to be here with you at the NACAC conference. My name is Satya. I'm the founder and CEO of Orbit AI. Orbit changed the way a student goes to college by introducing AI into the entire college application process. Orbit also gives more power to counselors like yourselves by making their process streamlined, personalized, and cost-effective. We stand to make access to education equitable and hope you join our mission too. Like our solar system, Orbit's ecosystem also has 8 products that holistically complete the entire college application journey. AI tools to find the bright, perfect fit school where a student truly belongs, all the way to making this dream a reality with essays, LOR, mentors, scholarships, planner, AI counselor, and so many more products. I thank you for your time and would love if you drop by booth 1308 by Gate A and say hi. I would love to explore how we could make your college application process stellar. Thank you.
The higher education industry is facing an existential crisis. Our platform connects students with universities using AI to identify the best fit candidates and university matches to help admissions officers track students' progress and predict who is most likely to succeed on campus and enroll if extended an admissions offer.
Thank you. Thanks. Those were the last two videos that we had to share, but we do have some time. We would love for you to ask any questions to any of the presenters that are still with us today. I do also, a great question came in about, I'm not going to the conference, but these sessions sound really exciting. How could I, be able to see them or be a part of them? And one of the initiatives that we have is to invite all of these presenters to do a series in October and November, where we are hoping to do a webinar maybe every other week, or, and be able for these presenters to recreate their session for you on one of our webinars that we will be hosting. So, this is something we are just beginning to launch. It is not yet on our events page, but we expect to have that up, hopefully have the first couple ones scheduled by the time we are at NACAC with you. But if you are not coming to NACAC, that is a wonderful way that you would have the opportunity to, to see what is being, presented there at the conference, but from the comfort of your office or your home. So please, stay tuned for that. And if there are any additional questions that you have, please feel free to use the Q&A box there. I see one question here for Jasmine and Sebastian's presentation, and I understand this can be slightly overwhelming. Seeing so many different tools that look really promising. Is this a session that could you just speak a little bit more to that? A question came in just about how will your session better prepare me for walking into that exhibit hall and where I'll be able to talk to these exhibitors, and should I go into the exhibit hall first, or should I go to your session and then and hope I am better prepared for what's to come in the exhibit hall?
Sure. I do think that we will help you prepare for your selection of what tool is there, but I don't think it hurts to go to the exhibitor hall first to just kind of be exposed to all that is out there. Because it's one of those situations where if you're new to the AI space, you don't know what to ask until you know what's possible. So what's really helpful is before you leave your institution, try to figure out what your pain points are, and then come to NACAC prepared to learn if AI could help with what your pain points are. And then you can kind of enter the exhibitor hall with that mindset of like, I know what my pain points are. Let me see if AI might help. And then when you come to our session, you'll learn more about maybe the booths you haven't gotten to yet. But really what we're focusing on is how to think about what's the best fit for you, because there are so many tools out there that solve each a slightly different problem with a slightly different focus in a slightly different way. And one of them is going to be your best fit answer, just like one college is a student's best fit.
Yeah, I was just going to share, and I think some of those practical tools, from the university side, there's a lot of, conversations around shrinking budgets. And so one of the things we'll look at is, do you have the capacity or the staff to be able to, maybe implore a chatbot, but do that in-house, and if that's within your capacity, how you're able to build those things out. And if not, then, what are your options within your budget, and be able, like Jasmine said, to have those conversations with vendors and sort of be able to speak their language and understand what they're, sharing and what their strengths and weaknesses are within their own programs.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sebastian and Jasmine. A question here for you, Ben, just about, this is somebody from the university side, and they're also interested in tools and how they could use that. Is this session better suited for the college counseling side, or can enrollment folks as well expect to come and learn and have that be beneficial?
It's a great question. In this case, absolutely both. I think we have done I've done similar sessions at regional ACACs that have, I would say, been more heavily focused on high school side, counseling professionals. This session should be closer to a 50-50 split, not only in terms of what we are discussing live, but also the toolkit pieces. I will say the toolkit has more in there at this moment for folks working directly with students, whether that's in a school or as IEC, CBO, but with Ben Toll there and how we've structured the first half discussion, there's quite a bit there for folks that are working to lead admissions, enrollment management, working in those roles. So yeah, come one, come all.
And I think that's a good question for our other presenters as well. I think we still have Scott and we have Dr. Jennifer Kirk. Do you feel that your sessions are well suited for both sides of the desk, for counselors and enrollment people, or is it just kind of a little bit better for one group? Or could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure thing. Our intention is to be attractive for all. So as Ben said, come one and come all. There'll be shades of sprinklings for everyone to hear. But what I think is interesting about the connection for us is, while I come from a secondary lens, I also do some application reading and such. And so I live in both worlds a little bit, right? Additionally, I think it's really critical both sides of the desk hear the stories that are happening, right? So for all things that we do for kids, as a secondary school counselor, how am I advising students? How are we really encouraging them to utilize services and supports, and specifically in this form, the use of AI and what that looks like? And also, I think it's critical for those on the admission side to hear, like, what are the rules and regulations? What are the policies that we're teaching? And are they in alignment? We're working toward transformative change for kids, each and every one of them, right? And so they have access to all the things. And so to continue that dialogue, because when I present, I learn as much as I put out, I think, every single time. Sometimes I learn more because it inspires conversation and discussion.
Yeah, and I'd have to say, yeah, along the same lines as Dr. Kirk. Yeah, I have this presentation with school counselors in mind, but I think there's plenty for college people to learn by coming to this session to get a sense of, maybe a maybe up close story view of what students are doing, in my office, in Michelle's office, in offices that are happening around some of our colleagues, and what kind of discussions are we having with our students, I think are very similar to some of the discussions that are happening in other places across the country. So yes, I think there would be value for college people to come, and I would love to have, again, more the merrier. I think, we're all here to learn together, and I'd be happy to host some college people and have questions from them.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I'll say, I often will seek out sessions that don't seem that they are aiming for the college side. I'm on the college side, but I found some of those sessions that are, conversations that are full of a room full of college counselors is an amazing perspective for me, and one that I don't always get to see and hear. So I really appreciate, those types of sessions. I try to balance it out with ones that seem like they are, geared towards me, but as well ones that are just going to be rich in providing me that perspective that can be hard to see. Thank you so much. I just want to thank all of our attendees. This is something new. We have not done this before, and we are really excited, and we hope that you got a little bit more excited about the conference, listening to all of this that is going on during those very few days that we're going to be there. And we are going to be doing a lot more after the conference as well. And throughout the conference, you'll be able to learn about that. And if you want to get involved with our special interest group, there will be space there for you to connect with us in that way, and to connect in person. I'm so excited about that. I work, so many of my colleagues, I just rarely get to see them, and to have the opportunity to meet in person and have those conversations and share space together, and talk about AI in college admissions is really exciting. So thanks again again for attending today. This has been recorded, and we will be sharing this pretty shortly after. All of the recordings from all of our events can be found on our event page. We have a pretty rich library there, going back over a year now of events that we have put together. So if you're newer to the space, that's actually a great place to start, where you can, well, thank you. I do have one more thing to share, and I would not want to miss this at all. I had the picture, but I did not talk about the beautiful thing that you get to pick up if you come to our special interest group. I had the picture on the slide, but these are the socks. This is our swag that we will be giving to each of our members this year. You will come to our the special interest group meeting there, and these will be, College Vine is being so kind to have these stored at their booth, and that's where you will go and be able to pick up socks directly after or throughout the conference. We'll have those there. So you'll be able to rock the AICA socks, hopefully at NACAC and beyond. And yeah, so come visit us, come say hello, and make the most of your time at NACAC, and have a great rest of your week. And until August 18th, take care.